I think the obstacles are the same for women in business as they are in any other profession. When we first started, it was hard to get some people to take us seriously. There are some aspects of this that are still somewhat male dominant. My name is Tammar Berger. I am a recovering attorney and I am the co-founder of Offroad DC. I used to practice international law focusing on corruption and anti-money laundering for the World Bank. I've always had this notion, this thought in the back of my mind that I wanted to start my own business or work for myself. Entrepreneurship does run in my family. My father owns his own business. My brother is on his second company. And when I had phoned home to let my father know that I was considering starting my own business, all he said was it was about time. When my now business partner, a friend of mine at the time, approached me with the idea, it seemed like the perfect opportunity. What would make us different from everyone else was we wanted to create a community, a sense of family, a place that was focused on exercise science and real cycling, not necessarily hopping on board with some of the newer fads, but really keeping true to the origins of indoor cycling. So when we designed Offroad DC and came up with our programming, what we wanted to base it in is in a basic philosophy of fitness, and that is that fitness should be attainable, affordable, and sustainable. Anyone of any fitness level can walk in and be able to get through a class. So we had designed classes that work for everybody at every level. We have Ironman cyclists cycling right next to someone that this is their first class ever. And it's the same thing with our build and our box classes that we have. We spend a lot of time with our instructors, training them to modify and amplify and make every class suitable for everyone. And fitness is getting very, very expensive these days, and being healthy shouldn't break the bank. Sustainability comes from basing what we do on science. Training properly, having all of our instructors be certified and trained in what they do, pushing people but doing so in a way that doesn't cause injury or burnout, challenging people so they keep coming back. The goal is to have a client keep coming to off-road for years, not come non-stop every day for 3 months and then we never see them again, but coming 3 days a week for 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. That's the goal, and that's what off-road is about. So the majority of our bike classes here at Offroad are based on a metric known as functional threshold power, otherwise known as FTP. It's something that measures the amount of power that you put out. So the way it works is that riders will come in and take a quick test at the beginning of every class, and that test will set their working zones for the rest of the ride. It makes it very engaging for the rider. It makes them engaged with their own power zones, but it makes them engaged with the instructor. It keeps them engaged in the class. It pushes them. It gives them that instant gratification of feedback of how hard they're working. And we're finding that riders are responding really well to this, and it motivates them to come in and work within those zones and get stronger and get faster. And all you see is a color or percentage, and that's a percentage of your own zone. It's not going to rank you against anyone else. So it doesn't matter that the guy next to you is pushing out 350 watts and you're pushing out 100 watts. As long as you're both at your red zone, you're going to look like you're working exactly where you need to be. And you and that person are on the same road, the same effort level. And so it levels the playing field and it makes it more attainable and less intimidating and more enjoyable. So then you can take a look at that and see, oh, my FTP is growing, which means that you are actually getting stronger. You are able to push out more power. And that is a true measure of fitness and strength, and that you are improving. And I think nothing is more motivational to somebody than seeing improvement and seeing results. In addition to bike, we offer 2 other programs. We have Build and Box. Our Build program is a strength training program. We offer it in a 30 and a 50-minute time slot. And Box is boxing, and we do that also in 30 and 50 minutes. Build is based primarily on TRX, but we also add some kettlebells, some additional body weight exercises, and some cardio. We like to focus on functional movements, and the TRX and the other movements that we do in that build class are based on that functional movement philosophy. But mostly strength training and mostly TRX. And box is a combination of heavy bag work, speed bag work, pad work. And we have found, and the reason why we went with these three programs, bike, box, and build, is that all three of those are exercises and classes and workouts that can be done by people of all levels. I think you should follow your dreams. However, I do think that a lot of research should go in first. So know your risks, know how much you're willing to risk, and then you have to come to terms with how hard are you willing to work. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. I work constantly. It is a 24/7 job, but it's a labor of love. So I knew I was getting into that, and I love doing it, but I don't often complain that I'm working around the clock because it's something I love to do. I would always support somebody taking the plunge and making that move, as long as the homework was done first. So if you've done all the numbers and you've done all the research and you're ready to take that plunge, 100% go for it. I think you need to fail. A failure is a learning experience. I don't think you shouldn't be afraid to fail, but I think you should set yourself up to succeed. Failure is part of the process, and it is a step to success. And I don't think you should let it derail you. Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and continue marching forward.